Hey, I'm Robert Peeler. I'm your community manager here for Square Enix members, and I'm going to be talking to Luke Eisenhower, the marketing coordinator
Hey guys.
for Final Fantasy 13-2. And I'm not here just chatting with this fellow, but we're actually going to be unboxing this little piece right here, the Final Fantasy 13-2 PlayStation 3 version of the Collector's Edition. So, Luke, if you could handle this, and we'll just talk through it and
Absolutely
open it up
can.
right now.
Yeah. So guys, take a look here. This is the Collector's Edition, which actually, for those of you that are getting it on the Xbox 360, there will be no differences aside from simple cosmetic things like the branding packaging on the outside or the instruction manual and disc label. But everything else, content-wise, is exactly the same. So, as you guys can see here, this is the PS3 sleeve. We've taken the both this and the internal box art and modeled it after the Japanese release of Final Fantasy 13-2, which a lot of our fans recognize that pretty much all of the Japanese numbered Final Fantasies go with a plain, elegant white cover with the logo. So that was our way of paying homage to that. And so you can see on this side, we've got the text logos with Collector's Edition. There's your legal copy for those of you that are interested in that. And here we have a close-up of our Battle of Valhalla key art and a few screenshots and more information.
Well, Luke, last week I got a question from a fan on Twitter asking if the copy of the Collector's Edition would have this PS3 branding on the inside box as well.
No, it does not. We're going to go ahead and show you exactly what it looks like. So, go ahead and take this off. And this, you can do whatever you want with this. Keep it, throw it away. But this is the best part, the meat and potatoes. So here you can tell we've gone with an even cleaner, more elegant look with the white background. This is a very sturdy, toothy packing material, very smooth, and you can see it's very tightly fit, bound like a book. There's another text logo with Collector's Edition, and on the very back, Square Enix. But all in all, very clean, very elegant.
But you still have that sleeve, just in case you're stacking it up with the other PlayStation 3 titles and you want them all to match on your shelf or something like that.
Absolutely. If you're looking for that, then we decided to provide it with you. But let's go ahead and pop this guy open. It fits in there pretty snugly, but it's not too hard to remove. So, now we have the actual inside work, which you can see this is the lightning portion of the Amano art from the logo, done in a matted but still somewhat glistening gray tone, and then logo right there again. And on the back we have the Caius end of the Amano art. And now let's go ahead and open this guy up a little further. You can see it unfolds like a book. First thing you see, we have our Valhalla key art, which we released at San Diego Comic-Con, showing Sarah and Lightning standing right in front of Etros Temple at Valhalla. And when you flip that open, right inside, this is where you get your game disc right there. PlayStation 3, but it'll be 360 if you get that. And right on the inside here, we've got some of the pertinent information. This, very important, Square Enix members card. Make sure to register your copy of the game. You want to get points, you want to get a lot of cool things.
Let's take that aside.
Alright, awesome. And then we have your instruction manual right here, which this will be the exact same instruction manual that everybody with the standard edition gets. It has all the key information with story synopsis, introduction to characters, button mapping, and basically your troubleshooting and setup for learning how to actually play the game. And then of course there's a very important tips and tricks section close to the back, which will tell you some really interesting tidbits that you might not really be that familiar with otherwise. And of course, a few links to getting your really cool figurines of Sarah or Lightning.
There you go.
There we go. That's it.
Sarah Lightning action figures from Playouts merchandise side.
Yeah. And then of course a ad for the soundtrack that you don't need, because if you got this inside the Collector's Edition, you got the whole thing already. Voila! So let's go ahead and get to some of the more cooler looking stuff right here. This right here, sewn into the book, is the concept art.
Yeah, hold that for you.
Thank you. So, first thing you turn to, you can see that this is the early concept art of the Valhalla key art. A few changes were made from the concept to the final. Like you can see, Lightning has blonde hair. But you can also see some of the key elements that's carried over, such as the weapons and the armor, some of the basic colors, and the design of the background of the temple.
Sarah looks pretty different as well. She's got like what looks like longer hair coming out the side, and
Yeah.
Lightning has darker armor.
Yeah, really cool for the fans out there that like to see how the art first comes from concept and then goes into final
No
form.
shield either.
And a few other really cool pieces of art.
Well,
here
tell us
and
about this
there.
one right here.
Oh, that's right, sorry. This is the Battle of Valhalla key art, which is actually also featured right there in its final form on the back of the soundtrack disc tray. So a little bit more look at seeing Lightning attacking in Caius and Chaos Bahamut and Noel and Sarah at the bottom. And then as you go through, there's also a few sections that are devoted more towards the actual worlds themselves, such as Academia
Yeah, we can flip that
and
over.
Augusta
Look at it.
Tower right there. And a few other worlds to look at as well, such as we got New Bodom right down there. And then more Valhalla, and then go ahead and go towards the weapons section, which is my personal favorite, because then you get to see Noel and Caius's blades side by side. Caius uses such a cool sword. And then we've got Lightning's blade right there.
Does this one transform like the first one into kind of like a pocket-sized version almost?
No, this one stays its main form. It has like a an unsheathing kind of thing that extends it a little bit, but for the most part it stays in the same shape. But it does still function as a gun.
Okay.
And then we have our monsters section, which I'm not going to talk too much about this guy because we want you to play the game and get a really good idea of just how important he is.
Yeah,
And
we'll
then, of
talk
course,
Odin,
Odin in all of his awesomeness.
right? Cool.
All right, and then there's that Battle of Valhalla key art again.
Now this is available in poster form if you pre-order the game from Walmart, right?
Absolutely. It'll be packed in with your version of the game. And then when we flip these open, here are your 4 discs for the soundtrack, which right down here, disc 1 shows Sarah, disc 2 showing Noel, disc 3 showing Caius, who in this pose he kind of reminds me a little bit of Johnny Depp, but yeah, you guys can decide for yourselves. And then Lightning on disc 4.
It's like a good tip for cosplayers if you want. Look for a Johnny Depp costume.
Exactly.
Dress up as Caius.
Yes.
But
And then-
how many
yeah.
how many soundtrack tracks does it actually contain?
Well, right back behind the actual instruction manual comes a soundtrack listing, which details out every track as well as who arranged and composed, and on each disc. And each disc contains either 19 or 20 tracks, so you've got about a full 78 tracks of listening pleasure. And then, of course, if you're really interested in knowing all the musicians and the composers and whatnot, all spelled out right there for you.
There's like 4 trumpeters.
Takes a lot to get that much epic music, that's for sure.
There's a tuba player, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, I used to play the tuba.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and tuck this all back in here.
It fits pretty nicely too. Some of these sleeves can be pretty tough, or like have a binding on this side to make it hard to get the content out, but that just slips open.
Yeah, we spared no expense to make this about as classy of a collector's edition, since you guys certainly deserve the best.
Cool.
So, folds back together nicely.
Let's get this back in. Am I doing this right?
Yeah.
Show me, Luke, how do you do it?
Start from one corner, go to the next. Nice snug fit.
Very cool.
And then, if you see fit to put this back on, ta-da!
Nice. Thanks again, Luke. We appreciate you showing off the PlayStation 3 copy of Final Fantasy 13-2 Collector's Edition. So make sure you guys pick up your copy on January 31st.
Yes, indeed.
Pre-order now. We have about 4 retailers giving some good pre-order incentives. So
Absolutely.
feel free to check. Is it Final Fantasy XIII? Is it -2? Which one is the website?
na.square-nx.com.
That'll work. That'll work too.
FFXIII-2.
We'll put this up on the video. You don't have to rely on our word. All right. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.